Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Barbershop Show. My name is Terry Holloman, aka T Holla, and that over there, ladies and gentlemen,
What up?
is
What up? It's Marcus True Fun. What's going on, T? What's up? What up?
not much, man. Another day here in the shop, man, where we can chop it up, get a chance to fellowship, reach out to everybody that's out there, let them know what's been going on in the barbershop. We had those conversations like, fellas would have in the barbershop, pretty casual, off the cuff, you know what I'm saying? Talk about what's happening in the world right now. Lots of things are happening out there, true. We won't get a chance to discuss all of them, but just some things that are on our
Just a
minds, of
few.
course,
Just
right?
a few. Just a few.
Yeah,
Just a little taste. Just a little taste. All right.
just a taste. That's a skosh, man. By the way, at the time we are recording this, it is moving from summer to fall. So it's that time of year. As you see, Mr. Trufant has his warm, cozy coat on because it is a little bite in the air.
Yeah, it's a little
True,
nippy.
how you feel? Yeah, it's a little nippy, but I still, I don't want to let it go. So that's why I kind of want to discuss that with you real quick now, the changing of the season, because there are some people that are obviously, summer people. They love to get out and get about, and then there's other people that love this time of the year, the fall, when there's a bite in the air, and it's football season, and the leaves are changing colors and all that good stuff. What about you, man?
I'm um I'm kind of a fall guy, T. I'm into the sweaters and the hoodies and the Tims and the sweats and the peacoats and the bubbles and everything like that. But I'm pretty habitual when it comes to mix matching the seasons, right? Like you see, I'm warm now. I got my coat on, but I got shades on, right? And then
Yeah.
I go with the shorts, I go with the Birkenstocks, and then I put on the big coat. So I like to mix it up a little bit. I like to keep people guessing. I like to throw people off, man. I used to mix it up, and most importantly, I like to embarrass my kids at the drop off at school. So
There's nothing
that's
more
my thing.
important than that.
That is my thing.
Nothing more important than that. What are they most embarrassed about? Man?
They're
I
most
know you're notorious for the Birkenstock, but
Yeah,
that
man, I'm
is
notorious for that, and I'm also just as notorious for the lack of moisturizer on my knees or ankles and or hands. And I hit the weather, and my skin just don't agree with the cold air and all that. So yeah,
so
my
you
kids
you're
aren't a fan
ashy
of
is
that.
what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yes, ashy
You're
the
ashy.
classy, ashy the classy. Yes, sir.
And your children are ashamed of your ass?
I think they are. Yes, yes.
Well, you know what? So a long time ago, a close friend of mine explained it to me in detail. So you should use this as your excuse from now on. He told me that ash makes you hard.
Okay.
If you think about it, you know, all your life growing up, you being from Tacoma, you ran across some hood dudes, I'm sure, in your day. And plus, time in college at Washington State, time in the NFL 10 years, you ran across some hood dudes, I bet. Have you ever met one of them that wasn't ashy? Hella ashy all the time, right? Ashy
Okay. So that's the 1+1. And you got your toughness, and you grew up tough, rough. And then you got the ash. And I don't know if y'all can see now, but I went with the natural moisturizer when I know this may sound a little grotesque, but you take a little bit of spit, and then you kind of, and you hit that. And then I'm back, baby. I'm ready to go. But yeah,
brand new.
tough, ashy, rough. I mean, it all goes together. So yeah.
I tell you what, for those watching and those listening, you don't understand like when you are dark skinned brothers such as myself and a little darker like Marcus is.
Oh,
Wink,
easy.
wink. I wasn't,
You throw it that in there.
ash becomes a real problem.
Yes,
It's a real
yes.
issue I've had to deal with for
It's
an
been a
entire
lifelong
life.
fight, T, a lifelong battle. But I'm good with it,
But
though, man. I've come to terms with it. I'm over 40 now, so I'm good. I've accepted my ash.
did your last thing about the ash? When you was growing up, did your folks used to put Vaseline on you?
Vaseline everywhere. And you put Vaseline on your hands, your body, your face, your hair, everything.
How
Everything.
you going outside shiny as hell?
Shiny as, I don't know, but I was mighty
Like
shiny.
a
Mighty shiny.
shiny like a penny. Just walking outside glistening.
Something like that. Something like that.
Oh, I remember those days, man. My kids, fortunately, don't have to deal with that. I have light-skinned kids. Obviously, my kids are biracial. They don't have ash issues, man. I think biracial, kids that just have that some kind of natural secretion in their skin, and ash doesn't show up or something. But I guess, it's a problem I'll never have to deal with. So, anyways, True.
Yes,
Speaking
sir.
of the kids, man. Social media is. I want to touch on that just for a second, man, because once again, it is something that we really can't escape in today's world, man. It's really everywhere. It's a blessing and a curse. I just want to get your take on it as of today, 2021, September 20th. Um, I know you notoriously in the past have not been very social on social media. I just want to know if that changed much for you recently.
Yes, Terry, as of late, it has changed for me. I'm more social now. I'm starting to open up, letting people into the life of Marcus Trufant off of the field. And you know what I'm saying? So just to give people a glimpse, man, and let people know what's going on. And that's kind of, from the research I've done, that's how you connect with people. That's how you let people know what's up. It's not always about, showing off or like the advertisements and all that kind of stuff. So I have been more social, but I keep it in the pocket. I only go to a certain level, right? But there is I guess the gift and the curse of social media. So I try to lean and make sure I focus on the gift side. I try not to get into the nasty side and the ugly side because it's there. It was there towards the tail end of my career. I was getting crucified on social media, right? I wasn't that young, True, that could go out there and do his thing. You make a couple bad plays and they be on your head, right? On your head nonstop. So
Right.
It's something to be said about that. I know when you talk about bullying and all that kind of stuff, and then you got the athletes that most of the time aren't looked at as human beings, but it's people just taking shots at these guys left and right, taking shots at their family, their kids, their parents, everything, just because they lost a game or they didn't do exactly what the fans thought they should do. It's tough.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought that up because that is something that I was, thinking about a lot the last couple of weeks. The impact of social media on young athletes, whether that be professional, collegiate, or even high school players. Like, I hate to date myself and dating you a little bit, even though you're younger than me. We didn't have social media pressure back in the day when I was going to college and playing sports or in high school playing sports. But there was still felt like a tremendous amount of pressure because, we still had newspaper articles, we still had TV reporters, we still had people that would print things about you in the media, right? But flash forward to today's times, this stuff is happening in real time. And I used to sometimes I would see something in the newspaper about myself and I would be like, okay, that is that one person's opinion, right? That's this writer's opinion about what happened. And then you could move on.
Right.
Today, stuff happens in real time. You getting thousands, hundreds of thousands,
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of opinions about what you did and how much of you ain't this and you ain't that at an instant. I just wonder how hard it is for some of these players to navigate through their careers, like especially as a collegiate person. True.
Right.
Again, going back to when we were playing, you're an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid in college, and people are writing an article about you about how much you suck, right?
Right.
And you might take it personal, you might not, all the hard work and effort you put into becoming who you are or whatever. But now there's everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry sitting on the couch can throw their opinion about how much you suck and talk about your family, and it's just crazy to me. True. How do you think these kids navigate that?
I would say this, T, that these kids, they do have tough skin, and it's hard to compare. And you know what I'm saying? When you talk about the time that we played and the things that we had to go through and just how the game was different back then and the rules and things you could do, of course, as a defensive player and the way they let us play and the way they let us hit people was different. So it's hard to compare. You got a guy like DK Metcalf that's out there doing it big, strong, physical receiver, but the defensive backs and everybody can't get as physical as they did back in the past. So does that mean that DK would not be as successful as he is now? If you put him in a different time, I don't know. I would say that DK is one of those guys that can play at any time. But I say that to say that it's hard to compare. I don't know what I would do or what my mindset would be if I was in the game now. And I think that the guys that are playing now, I think it's just a part of the game, and they don't even really think about it. They kind of brush this stuff off the shoulders, and you kind of just push forward because, you take a guy like Russell Wilson and you take a guy like King James, that they are worldwide superstar dudes that everybody on social media got an opinion about all the time. So I think it's just a part of their life, and they just brush it off, man, and they roll with it. And I don't think it's anything to them. It's treated as a business, and they use it for benefit, and they use their voice as needed. But as far as the negative part of it, I think at this point, it's just a part of the game for them. I think it's just part of the game.
Yeah, I think it has to be. But at the same time, I understand that we're all human.
Could you do it,
even though these guys, was that?
Could you do it? 100,000 people
today?
Yeah, and they saying
I don't know if I could.
And they need to get rid of you right now. Could you do it?
Yeah.
Could you do it?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think it would have to take. I would have to undergo some kind of therapy, dude. I would have to undergo some kind of specialized coaching to, get me to that point where I could do it. Because if it happened today, I know I couldn't. I know my temperament. I know how I was brought up and how I was raised. And I know all this because through this pandemic, through the past 18, 20 months, I've tried to learn more about myself. I've done some soul searching, and I know that
I like it.
You might like it, you might not. But I'm just being realistic, man. It's that two of my most outgoing emotions that I show the top one is probably anger, and it's like I try as Black men especially, a lot of us were raised to contain our emotion, and especially as athletes, hide our emotions and put yourself in a shell and don't show weakness and all that good stuff. And so the only outlet I really either had was just anger. And so and I can speak from experience, because interactions I've had with people on social media that will say stuff like, and it'd be people I don't even know, true, that I would never have an opportunity to meet, people that don't even have a picture on their profile, that'll say something like, "You're an idiot. You sound stupid. Why would you da 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 da?" And then I'm on there like, well, "Where you at? Right. Pull up.
Yeah.
Come see me.
You know where I'm at, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not hard to find.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I realize now that you can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do it. It's just,
and that's UT and even guys with this type of national appeal, they can't do it. So that's why I'm saying, you say that you've done your soul searching, and if you were in the spot now to where you had all these people coming down on you, that you would have to go through some therapy. But if you grew up in this, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So I compare it to what's your boy's name on Batman that wore the mask?
The Joker?
Bane. Bane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in the darkness.
Born in the darkness.
Born in the darkness, so the darkness didn't affect him.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, True. That is, you know what? You might be on to something. Matter of fact, I think there's a lot to that. Yeah, a whole different generation of young people, a whole different generation of athletes, and that's just something that they had to navigate. And it's just par for the course when you become an athlete in this day and age. Speaking of social media, something that I saw on social media, True, earlier today, and it was really going hard on Twitter. I wanted to bring it up with you. I'm sure I know what your answer is going to be, but we're gonna talk about it anyways. There was a question: is Drake? Everybody knows Drake, Heartbreak Drake. Lover boy Drake, certified lover boy Drake,
Champagne Poppy.
Yeah, Champagne Poppy, Drake. We know how successful he's been over the last decade and a half, nearly. It's just he's had an incredible run. The question that was on Twitter is Drake in 2021 bigger than Michael Jackson at his peak? Now that question was going crazy online, True. I'll go through some of the accolades and the various things and compare the two in a second. But off the top, man, what is your opinion on this?
See, man, and off the top, man, I thought that I was just gonna spit it out and say Jacko, right? I mean, an MJ.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking about it, man. And Drake, to be honest, Drake got a lot of stuff, man. A lot of fire, a lot of hits, and you throw in the social media component, that just makes everything spread a little bit more. You got Drake doing it for the gram. You got Drake and Jake from State Farm and all this other stuff. So just the media that comes with it. And I know that Michael Jackson, I grew up on that Thriller and all that kind of stuff, and the impact that Michael Jackson had without the social media aspect. So I guess when we chop it up like that and you remove the social media, I'm going to have to go with MJ. And that's where I'm at, man. I hope I'm right. Yeah. You're talking about you're going to read the accolades and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just saying for me.
Right. There is no, at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong. You know, it's just a personal opinion. There is some, I think if you just be realistic about it and look at it for what it is, there probably is a clear-cut answer. But just looking at, again, like you said, the difference in the generations, there's a vast generational gap between Michael Jackson fans that were Michael Jackson fans throughout his career while he was alive, and those people who have followed Drake and are true Drake fans. There's a generational gap.
Compare Jordan and Bron. It's the same thing. It's the same conversation.
It kind of is. It kind of is. It kind of is true. But first of all, let me just tell you this about Drake. And so for all of our older, more seasoned listeners that might not understand the impact that Drake has had on popular music in the current times, Drake has won 192 awards, including 4 Grammys from 47 nominations. He has 29 awards from 81 nominations at the Billboard Awards. He was nominated as the Artist of the Decade by Billboard. He sold over 170 million albums. Drake has the most top 10 singles with 54 top 10 singles, the most charted songs. He's been on the chart 258 times. The most simultaneous charted songs in 1 week. True. Drake had 27 songs on the Billboard Top 100 at the same time, dude. So Drake has been doing his thing, obviously.
Drake got heat, man.
Made his mark.
Drake got heat, and just like people that grew up on Michael Jackson, there's Drake songs that I can think about now that kind of bring me back to a place or, a time in my life of, being at the club or being out and about. So Drake got some fire, just like you said, man. It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough, but I'm gonna just say this, and it's in the words of the great philosopher Dave Chappelle. He made Thriller. He made Thriller. Michael Jackson made Thriller. That's the end of the conversation for me, man. Thriller is hands down, unquestionably the greatest album of all time. It is literally the first album that I bought with my own money. Word. I got some money for my birthday, and I walked to the mall and bought the Michael Jackson album. I remember bringing it home, and I told my mom I was going to get the Michael Jackson album.
Yeah.
She gave me my money, and I got home. She was like, "You better have bought." I remember like yesterday. She said, "You better have bought that Michael Jackson," because she thought I was going to buy something else, like a rap album or something, right? She said, "You better pull it out." And I took it out the pack. I remember my mom looking at it. She was like, "You sure is pretty." I was like, "Okay."
So was it an album?
That album.
Okay.
I had a record player in my room.
Word. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and that whole impact that he had on music in general, like the whole MTV generation, they weren't playing Black artists on MTV until they played Michael Jackson. Okay. Thriller.
Was he the first on MTV?
He was. I think he was the first. They were going to boycott because they didn't play black artists on
Right.
at the
Yeah.
time,
Okay.
and there was going to be a boycott. And so Michael Jackson's label reached out and said, "We're not going to play any of our artists
Oh, wow.
on your station unless you play Thriller."
Get Jack
So he
on
came
that.
out with Thriller. Yeah, changed the game as far as music videos. He brought the whole dancing element to the thing. He was a real full on entertainer. He sold 400 million albums, dude.
No social
400
media.
million in his
No social
lifetime.
media, T.
No social media.
No social media. That's
Yep.
people just like you going out to the store with their hard-earned money and getting the album. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah. You had to go inside the actual store and get that thing, man. And I'm just thinking about, let's just put them side by side, Drake and Michael Jackson. And I'm not being condescending because I love Drake. Like I remember listening to Drake when he was an underground artist. I still listen to him to this day. Whenever he drops, I cop his album, right? Love Drake. But if there was Drake and he walked through the mall right now in Seattle, do you think it would have the same impact as Michael Jackson walking through the mall in 1984?
This is another one of those generational questions.
It's not even generational.
I say this, T. I would say this, it would be different because nowadays kids is going to have their phones out. Everybody may even be turned the other way, right? And trying to get that selfie, trying to show folks that I'm here, I see Drake, etc. But with Michael Jackson, people was passing out, people was hitting the flow, people was getting carried out of arenas. Drake might have had some of that too, but Michael Jackson was for real, and people was passing out. So again, I gotta go with Jacko, man. I gotta go with MJ.
Yeah, you know, Michael Jackson came out on stage and was like, and froze for like 2 minutes, and everybody was like, he didn't say no words. He was just, Drake can't do that, man.
Drake can't do that, but Drake can do a lot, man. I don't want the folks or the young people to think that just because we kind of old schoolers that we hating on Drake, but it's just different, man. It's just different, and I think that Michael Jackson was hitting different at that time, and there's nobody that really compares to that.
Yeah, he's the king of pop for a reason. I think, you know, it's almost a disservice to really even compare the two. It's just fun to talk about because, again, it's on Twitter. You get to hear people's opinions. And you get to talk about Michael Jackson, who, unfortunately passed away 2009. And, we get to bring him back to life by having that conversation about him, right? Bring back those memories. So I think that's good. One last thing I'll tell you about Michael Jackson. You talked about what the kids would do today if they saw Drake and they probably try to get in there and take a selfie with him, and all of them had their camera phones out. Back in the day, here go one of them T. Hollis stories, true, but it's not about me. So back in the day, when Michael Jackson was in a little hot water, and there was I think they had an arrest warrant out for Michael Jackson, and he was in Las Vegas, and the helicopter was following his car, and he was racing down the highway. And people were following him and all that. My brother, Tori Holloman, your teammate, was the car behind Michael Jackson.
No, hell no. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it right now, man. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. That's enough.
I swear. Listen, here's the crazy part about it. I'm at home here in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it live on TV, like on CNN, right? And I see this car chasing Michael Jackson, right? Like every time Michael Jackson stopped, the car stopped. Somebody hang out the window, they going, hey, Michael Jackson, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, that dude look familiar. Right. Then my brother called me on the phone. He said, are you looking at TV right now? I'm on there chasing Michael Jackson.
Man,
and I got it.
Crazy.
I got it on videotape. So yeah, another T. Hollis story.
I can't believe it, man. I'm gonna have to check in. I'm gonna go to the source, man. I'm gonna hit Spade. I'm gonna see what's up, man. I have never heard that story. And by now, T, I feel some type of way. I thought you might have, I told all your good stories, all your war stories. I done heard it all from the hockey to the ice skating to the kung fu and all types of other fools who the skateboard and all this other stuff. And you mean to tell me that y'all got this connection with Michael Jackson and I've never heard the story? I thought we was better than that, too. I thought we was better.
True. We have barely scratched the surface, my brother. We got years to go, my man. Trust me, I got more for you. One other thing I want to talk to you about, True, before we get out of here. Since we are a sports platform, technically, right? Since we both come from a sports background. Allegedly. The NFL has done, a serious job of trying to cut down on taunting in the National Football League for whatever reason. That was one of their points of emphasis this past offseason. We're going to stop the taunting and we're going to, assess 15-yard penalties. And I think they even got it to where if you get two penalties, taunting penalties in the game, they put you out. So through the first 2 weeks of the season, 2021, there have been 10 taunting penalties. And again, these are 15 yarders, man. It's not like 5 yards or whatever. This is 15 yards, first down. Here we go, right?
Right.
10 taunting penalties through the first 2 weeks. All of last season, there was 10 total across the National Football League. How do you feel about this new taunting rule?
The majority of those, I would assume, is after touchdowns or after big hits, and I think they assess that on the kickoff, probably, right?
Sometimes, I mean, if it's a touchdown, yeah, they would. But again, what I saw an instance where it was the guy who made a catch, jumped up, spun the ball, they call that taunting. Or a guy made a big hit, guy made a big hit, stopped the third down conversion.
Yeah, got a
jumped up, got in his face. First down.
They're taken away from the game, man. They're taken away from the game. I don't know if they felt like that was a distraction. I know last year with the Seahawks on offense, they had all types of routines, the new additions and all that type of routine. But, 3, 4, 5 guys.
I think they're still allowing that, True. I think they're still allowing the celebration of dancing. I think it's like the dancing and celebration, I think is still allowed. But it's the taunt, like, again, it's like, so if you make a big hit and you get in somebody's face or you know what I'm saying, you jaw jacking, doing this, that, they're going to flag you. DK caught one in the last game. He caught one against the Titans. Okay. He was running his yap and they flagged him up. So, that's what it is. It's not the – yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, man. So, I don't like it. I think it builds the story of the game. And, it's guys going back and forth, and you want to see exactly who's going to have the last laugh. And if you're talking, if you're a big talker out there, and you got to back it up. And if you're not, you're going to look foolish, and you're going to be on Twitter and IG and everything else that comes with it. But I think it just adds a little flair to the game. So I'm disappointed to see that that is a rule. And, it's hard for me to keep up with the rules. See, they change every week, so I just stopped trying. So thanks for that information. I appreciate that. But they changed the rules.
I'm here for you, man. I know you only spent 10 years in the NFL. Right. I'm here to help you out and understand what's going on in the league, man. But like going back to the days of a younger True Fan when you were out there playing, whether it be high school, college, or the 10 years you spent in the NFL, were you much of a talker? Like, because I know there are some people that, that's really a part of their game. Like, that becomes part of who they are, what makes them successful, what makes, fans love them or hate them. But it's their persona. What was True like?
I'm old school, man. I had some old school coaches when I was a young man, man. At the Al Davies Boys and Girls Club, I was always taught, let your pads do the talking. And that's what I've always done, man. I took that to heart. So I would have fun with my teammates and what the guys that were, of course, wearing the same jersey, but talking directly at guys and doing stuff like that. I was never real big on that. But if guys used to talk to me, I would kind of just pretty much laugh it off, or I would jokingly smile and do that kind of stuff. I would do weird stuff. I really wouldn't even respond. And then when I come up and I got a chance to hit you, or if you wasn't looking, you wasn't paying attention, I get a nice little cheap shot in, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was how I did my talking, man, and that's how I would get it done. So, no, T, I wasn't a big talker. Still not a big talker now. Man, I keep it all inside. I let it bottle up and become real nasty and ugly, and then I just
Yeah.
unleash it.
Then you just unleash it on somebody.
Exactly.
I feel you. I feel you. In a lot of ways, when I played the game, it was a little bit like that as well. I didn't do a lot of talking, and it was for a couple of reasons. My dad always, was one about, we don't do a lot of talking, we just action. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? We're all
yeah.
about that action. For that, so that's one reason. The second reason was, I was focused on what I was doing in the game, like as far as running the ball and when I was on defense and tackling people. I'm focused in on you. I don't got time to think about, telling you something about yourself or telling you something about your mama or whatever. Man, I'm
A
focused on.
distraction. It was a distraction for you. I dig it.
It's a distraction for me, and I'm tired anyway. I'm trying to keep as much oxygen in
That
my lungs.
too. That too.
I ain't got no time to be talking and
That
wasting
too.
energy on you. And and again, like I said, I know that's part of some
Right.
people's game. It's some part of their makeup. It was just never me. Um, I wasn't a big talker. The one time I taunted somebody, it was in my senior year of high school. True,
Right.
I took the ball and went like 80 yards on the first play of the game. 80
Right.
yards to the house, and I got to the 10-yard line. True, and I turned around and I held the ball back like this and I ran because it was a dude chasing me the whole way, right? I could hear his footsteps behind me, but I was like, he's
Right.
not gonna catch me. So I turned around and held the ball out like, there it is. You can get it if you want it. And I just kind of slow walked into the end zone.
Right.
And it was a catch, man. And then
Pass back up, boy.
dude tackled me in the end zone.
If that's what you
He
get.
tackled me in the end zone and roughed me up.
Okay.
Hey, you want to?
I'm almost done.
We might as well bring him on camera. You might as well put him on camera.
Hey, come over here. Say what's up
Cash
to the
man.
people, Cash. Get over here. Over here. Hey, you walking through the thing now, so come on.
You on the show, man. I gotta ask,
Go up there and don't mess with my statue. You're trying to mess with my bobblehead. I got to say, he broke the last one, so I got a new one. So I let him break this.
Well, that's the perfect way to end the show, True, because part of our makeup nowadays, after our glory days are gone, is being fathers to all these kids of ours. And I have to, mention that this past weekend, your son, your one and only son, Cash, man, Cash's True Font, scored his first touchdown. Was that his first?
Yep. Scored his first touchdown.
Man,
Had two touchdowns. See, he plays in the NFL flag league out here. It's affiliated with the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, of course. But yeah, man, Cash is learning the ropes. His first year organized football, so he's getting the do's and the don'ts and all that kind of stuff. But he looks good and he's aggressive, and we got to keep him from tackling because it is flag. But yeah, I think he's on his way to really have fun. I just want to make sure that he enjoys himself, he has fun, and he plays hard. So yeah.
Yeah, he's 6 now or 7?
Six.
Okay, 6 years old. First touchdown, first 2 touchdowns. I saw the video.
Okay.
Online. He looked pretty good, man. He got the True Font wheels.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, like 10, 15 years from now, we'll be looking for a Cash man doing his thing, probably at University of Washington.
Easy. Go.
Where that purple and gold.
Go cool. And if things work out like that, you think my energy could kind of switch into like as a triple B and like the ball boys. Shoot, I forgot what Pop's name is, but
Lonzo? Was it Lonzo?
Lonzo is no, that's the oldest one. I'm talking about the dad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have to research. I forgot his name too.
But because it's different when it's your son, right? I've been out to camps and I did a little bit of coaching, right? But it's just a different type of feeling. It hits different, of course, when it's your own blood. So I get it.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. We'll keep our eyes peeled for young Cash, man. See how he does, man. Either way it goes, we're gonna be supportive and wish all the kids the best, man. Because we love the kids, man. True, it's been another exciting episode, man. We got more good stuff lined up for everybody next week. In the meantime and in between time, you can catch us on Twitter at The Barbershop Show. You can catch us on Instagram at The Barbershop Show _. We got the extra underscore on Instagram. And you can find myself on Twitter and Instagram, all social media at Terry Holloman, HOLLIMON. True.
Yes, sir. You can find me on IG at Marcus_TrueFun. I think we get high tech, T, so I'm going to point down and we're going to put it right underneath this.
Yeah.
Check us out, man. And this is going to be on YouTube, T, so you can tell them to like and subscribe, man, and check us out. We're going to post it everywhere, so it's going to be a good look.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere, man. We can be coming at you live and direct every single week. So until then, stay tuned to the Barbershop. It's T and True. We'll catch you guys next time.